Dear students, welcome to Tungal online classes. So, in the last video, we were discussing the characteristic features of algae. Among them, we classified into three categories. One is Chlorophyceae, second one is Phaeophyceae, as well as third one is Rhodophyceae. So, one of them is Chlorophyceae. They are commonly known as green algae, and these green algae and their respective characteristic features and their respective examples we discussed in the last video. In this video, we will discuss the next group of algae, next classes of algae, that is Phaeophyceae as well as Rhodophyceae. So, second group of algae, that is Phaeophyceae. Phaeophyceae, right? So, these are commonly known as brown algae. These are commonly known as brown algae. These are commonly known as brown algae, right? And where do they occur? Occurrence of these algae. So, where do they occur? They are usually aquatic in nature. So, right? So, especially these algae are marine in nature. These group of algae are marine in nature, right? They are marine in nature, means they are living in, they are growing in sea water or oceanic water. In the oceans, in the seas, these are growing attached to some of the rocks or the stones. Hence, these are termed as lithophytes, right? These are termed as lithophytes. Why these are termed as lithophytes is because they grow attached to the substratums like rocks or stones. Hence, they are termed as lithophytes, right? And how is the plant body? This is about the occurrence of these algae. So, how is the plant body? How is the plant body? Already you know these are all thallophytes, right? The plant body is thallus mainly. And so, in these brown algae, we do not see any unicellular forms and even unbranched filamentous forms, right? As well as colonial forms. Such kind of forms of the body of the organized body of these algae are not at all seen in these type of algae, right? In these algae, we do not see unicellular or unbranched filamentous as well as colonial forms. Then what form of body of these plants is? So, let us see the form of the body of these thallus, right? So, here we find heterotrichous filamentous forms, right? Here we find branched heterotrichous filamentous forms. The best example for this one is Ictocarpus. The plant body is branched heterotrichous filamentous form, right? Such kind of bodies that we come across. Best example is Ictocarpus and even sometimes Parenchymatous. parenchymatous, foliose form of the body that we come across. The best example for this one is laminaria, right? Laminaria is the best example for this one. That kind of plant body that we come across. See here, parenchymatous, foliose means leaf, right? It looks to be as a leaf, right? Parenchymatous, flattened parenchymatous leaf-like structure that we come across here. See the structure of this laminaria. This is more useful. Right, this kind of laminaria, the plant body is, this is a foliose like, right? This kind of structures that we come across. Sometimes branched fucus is best example for this one. See here, fucus. See here, this is branched one, right? This is fucus, this is laminaria. Such kind of plant bodies that we come across in brown algae, right? So here the body of these algae is differentiated into three major parts. Somewhat differences that we come across here. What are those differences? See here, this part which holds the plant body, which attaches the plant body to one substratum. The substratum may be stone as well as rocks, already I have mentioned. So hence these are also called as lithophytes, right? So this part of the plant body itself is called as hold fast. What it is mentioned as the part or the basal part of the plant body which attaches the plant body to the substratum. That part itself is said to be as hold fast. And there is an erect filamentous structure, and this part itself is called as stipe. What it is known as stipe, right? So this is stipe, stem-like structure, erect stem-like structure it is said was. And this part which is foliose-like or a leaf-like structure, flattened leaf-like structure, which is called as frond. This way the plant body of these brown algae is differentiated into, so the basal holdfast and the erect stem-like structure called as stipe, or the stalk-like structure it is said to be as, and the third flattened structure itself is a leaf-like structure itself is photosynthetic in nature, and that photosynthetic organ itself is said to be as frond. So this is how the plant body is differentiated into three major parts, and these plants are very large enough, means they grow gigantic in nature, means gigantic plants these are said to be as, they are very large in size, right? So the best example for this one is Microcystis, already I have mentioned. So as well as so Nereocystis is also best example for this one. Nereocystis is so about 20 to 30 meters in length, and Microcystis itself is 40 to 60 meters in length. Their height may reach about 100 meters, right? About the height of 100 meters. I shall write here the examples for gigantic plant body. The best example for large plant body, largest plant bodies, that is Nereocystis. which grows about 20 meters to 30 meters in height, and microcystis which about 40 meters to 60 meters. Sometimes their length may extend up to 100 meters. It may extend up to 100 meters. That kind of large plant bodies that we come across, they are commonly known as kelps. What these are said to be as kelps. Right? Kelps they are called as. Right? So this is how the plant body is. Next characteristic feature is cell wall. What is cell wall of these algae is made up of? As you know, chlorophyceae, their cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin. Here also, the cell wall is made up of cellulose, and on this cellulose there is a gelatinous coating, right? Cellulose which is covered by a gelatinous coating which is made up of algin. What is this algin? So this is one of the hydrocolloid, right? Algin is a hydrocolloid, right? Algin is a hydrocolloid, means so it has good capacity of holding the water, has good water holding capacity, right? So when it holds the water, that moment it does not allow the plant body to dry, right? So this algin does not allow the plant body to dry and even have injured right? So it has good water holding capacity and it does not allow the plant body to dry up, and it does not allow to have any injuries on the plant body. This is one positive point about this algin, right? So what is it is economically very important. What is it is used for in economic importance? Let us see, right? So this is about what? Cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, and on the cellulose there is one coating, gelatinous coating, which is made up of algin itself. Algin is economically very important. This is about the cell wall. And next important characteristic feature is stored food material. What is the stored food material in green algae? It is starch. So, but in these algae, different form of food is stored in cells, right? So that is the stored food material is a complex carbohydrate that is laminin, as well as alcoholic sugar, an alcoholic sugar called called mannitol. Mannitol. So mannitol as well as lamnarin are the two important stored food materials in these algae. As a result of photosynthesis, there one food material is synthesized, right? As a result of photosynthesis. As a result of photosynthesis, mannitol is stored in these algae, and stored food in cells itself is lamnarin. So this is about the stored food material. You must remember these two words, lamnarin as well as mannitol. What they chemically are already have mentioned, right? What are the pigments present? Pigments present in these algae. Pigments play very important role. As you know, photosynthetic pigments are there, and those photosynthetic pigments, like first one, chlorophyll A is there and chlorophyll C is there, but B is absent. Chlorophyll A is there, chlorophyll C is there, chlorophyll B is absent. Along with this one, carotenes are present over here, and even xanthophyll is also present over here. Xanthophyll is also present over here, and this xanthophyll is responsible for what? Brown color. Hence these are commonly known as what? Brown algae, right? But the color ranges means that differs from olive green to different shades of brown color, right? That point to be noted, NCERT point it is. So you must remember this one, this point. What is that? The color ranges from olive green to different shades of brown color. Different shades of brown color, right? And that brown color is xanthophyll, and the type of xanthophyll, fucoxanthin. What is the responsible for that one? Fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin, very important point to be noted over here. So this is about the pigments present in these algae, right? Next important characteristic feature of these algae is reproduction. Reproduction. So how do these algae reproduce actually? They reproduce by three methods. One is vegetative type of reproduction, and asexual type of reproduction, as well as sexual type of reproduction. These are the three major types of reproductions that are exhibited by these kind of algae, that is brown algae. So first one is vegetative type of reproduction. Vegetative type of reproduction. It is the type of reproduction which occurs by the growth of detached part of the plant body into new individuals, right? So this is vegetative type of reproduction that occurs mainly by fragmentation. fragmentation, right? You know what is fragment? The body of these algae is cut into several pieces and each piece can grow into new individual, right? So that is one type of vegetative type of reproduction, first one. And second one is asexual type of reproduction. It is the type of reproduction in which formation and fusion of gametes does not take place, right? This is one type of reproduction that is exhibited by these algae, right? So these algae, especially here, biflagellated zoospores are responsible for asexual type of reproduction. Biflagellated means two flagella are provided over here. Zoospores they are. Where actually they are present, how they are. So we must know all these aspects, right? Then we will have to take one example for this one, that is Ictocarpus. I am going to take over here and as an example. So I shall draw the diagram of the plant body here. So how the plant body is, already I have mentioned the form of the plant body over here. This is branched heterotrichous plant body that we come across here, right? Heterotrichous plant body. Here and there you will find some of the sporangium, right? Here and there you will find this kind of sporangium. Right, sporangium. When you enlarge one of the sporangium, this sporangium I am going to enlarge now, right? So this is the plant cells, nucleus as well as chloroplast, everything. So cytoplasm, everything is there. And apart from this one, you will find this kind of stalk like structure you will find. On this stalk you will find a large sporangium, and this sporangium consisting of spores inside it. What do you find there? Spores inside it. And these spores, which are biflagellated zoospores, right? When this sporangium ruptures, there you come across pear shaped biflagellated, laterally attached biflagellated zoospores over here, right? And this kind of zoospores that we come across, the point to be noted. So the attachment of flagella that take place on the lateral side of the spore, right? So hence laterally attached flagellated, biflagellated zoospores these are, right? And when you come across the zoospore structure or the spore structure, it is pyriform or what it is called as pear shaped one, and there on the lateral side one is elongated flagella, one is thin and whip like flagella. This is whiplash flagella is there, and second one is tinsel, smooth elongated tinsel. One is longer, one is shorter. That kind of biflagellated spores are responsible for what? So asexual type of reproduction. These kind of spores, they come out of the sporangium and they attach to any substratum and they grow into new individual plant body. This is how the asexual type of reproduction that occurs in case of brown algae, right, with the help of biflagellated zoospores. And apart from this one, so next one is a sexual type of reproduction, right? So sexual type of reproduction, as you know, so this occurs due to isogamy, anisogamy, as well as oogamy. What is isogamy, anisogamy, as well as oogamy? You know it better, right? Isogamous type of reproduction, sexual type of reproduction usually occurs in Ectocarpus, best example for that one, and oogamous is major one, right? In oogamous species, usually it occurs. Some are exhibiting anisogamy, right? Anisogamy means what? The fusion of two dissimilar gametes, right? Dissimilar gametes. So iso means similar gametes. Fusion of similar gametes. Fusion of dissimilar gametes, anisogamy. Oogamy in the sense that one is large and a non-motile female gamete and second one is motile male gamete. Both of themselves fuse themselves to form the zygote grows into new individual. This is how sexual type of reproduction that occurs in these plants, brown algae, right? So these are very important aspect to be remembered over here. So especially here you must remember the stored food material, pigments present in that one, right? And what is cell wall made up of. In each group of algae we must focus on these one, right? So very important one. And next group of algae is Rhodophyceae. We will see in the next video. Thank you.